The Sunset Illusion system gives you access to all of our contracted flight rates. These can be IT rates or net rates. You will also have access to published fares, but obviously it is much easier to sell flights at a cheaper rate than the airlines are selling for. So let's have a look. It is important when typing in where you would like to fly from to actually select the place in full. If you just type in London yourself, the system will not be able to do the search for you. So London on the 1st of May. We will try Dubai for this example. And returning we will say a week later. 2 adults. In this example, we are not going to do children. Remember, children, as far as scheduled flights are concerned, are up to the age of 11. Any child of the age of 12 becomes an adult, and the adult price must be charged, although taxes could fluctuate and be a little bit less for them. In this instance, we have no infants in the lap and no infants in a seat. We are going to leave the class open and also leave the times open to give us more responses. In this example, I will select non-stop. And the important part to remember is that when choosing the fares, always select both. This will give you all of our seat only and all of our IT rates, making sure you are competitive with your fares. The last thing that I would suggest you always do is select flexible dates, because the chances are it may be cheaper to go a day earlier or a day later. And by selecting flexible dates, you will be able to offer your clients the best alternative prices. You will also notice at the top here, I could have chosen one way or I could have chosen multi-destinations, which would have allowed you to select flights going into one destination and out of another, or multi-centre itineraries. Let's search. Here you can see the results. So from London to Dubai, back to London, out on the 1st of May, back on the 8th of May, you will see in this light pink colour, this is the dates we originally asked for. The price is £573. The price is total for the 2 adults you have asked for. It is not a per person price. Alternatively, you will see dates departing earlier, 28th of April through to the 5th of May or the 6th of May, and you will see that this grid gives you a good indication of when the cheapest prices apply. As it goes, the £573 that we are being offered for the exact dates we are asking for actually look pretty competitive. As you can see, the people going out on the 4th of May and coming back on the 5th, unlikely I know, the fare jumps up to £1,600. And again, although we have the £573, if the clients have asked you for the 3rd of May coming back on the 6th, let's say, or the 7th, it would have been more expensive at £593. Once you are happy with the price you would like to pursue, click on it and then the flight times will be shown. In this particular example, these flights are direct from Heathrow to Dubai. Remember, we did ask for direct flights only. We may look at these and not like the times. If that is the case, you will see down here, view all flights on these dates. If we select that, you will be offered alternative flights and prices for the dates you have asked for. So for example, we now get to see some flights with Virgin, which you may prefer the times on. In this case, some more BA flights with some alternative times. The lunchtime flight going out and the evening flight going out, or the early hours coming home or the morning coming home. In some examples, for instance this one with Emirates, we are being offered an outbound at 10 AM from Gatwick, and here we can see we have 2 options coming home, back into Heathrow. But we know there are more choices because it says here show all flights. So by selecting that, we have lots more alternative times. The airfares will start to creep up depending on the timings and the airlines. It is up to you to scroll through and find an option that will suit your clients. Once you choose a flight that you are happy with, you can proceed by booking now. However, just before we do that, please note the fare types. We can see that these fare types are what is known as Cat 3-5. Without going into too much detail, the best thing to do is just understand these are our negotiated rates and are much cheaper usually than the published fares would be with that particular airline. You can see by me hovering over where it says rules that it comes up with some information regarding the last ticket date and the fact that these tickets are non-refundable. If we scroll down, in this instance, most of the options we are being given are CAT 3-5. However, in the example with Royal Brunei, we are seeing the published fare. In this instance, there is little scope to mark these tickets up very much, because if we are seeing it for this price, the client can go online and see it also, because it is a published fare. The ones you should be concentrating on making some money on are these CAT 3-5, or sometimes they will be shown as IT fares. Once you are happy with the flights you have found for your client, by clicking on Book Now, you will be taken onto the next screen where you will be able to add the client's name, date of birth, nationality details and their gender. I would also suggest that you put this information in. You don't, however, have to put in their passport information at this point. I would suggest for now you put your own company email address and phone number in, not the client's. This means that head office can come back to you and know this booking is one of yours. At a later date, when it gets closer to the ticketing due date, we can pass our fares department the information to go ahead and issue the tickets by providing all the passport details. Finally, you will be given the option to save as a quote or save as a booking. Now, by saving as a quote, you will have a record of the fare you quoted and the date you quoted that fare. However, if you save it as a booking, you physically hold those seats. A lot of our fares will allow you to do this, as many of them do not have to be ticketed until much nearer the date of departure. However, if you are saving as a booking on a published fare, the chances are the ticket will need to be issued on the same day or in the next couple of days, so do be careful. If you hold some seats off and the client comes back to you and doesn't want them, you cannot cancel those seats through Illusions. You need to email our fares department and ask them to physically cancel them for you. Once the booking has been made, to find that booking, select Find Booking. If you know the reference number, you can enter it, or we can search by surname. Here we can see some tickets held in the name of Roe. If I select on that line, it will show the booking summary, and we can see the reference number and the flights that are held. To look at them in more detail, we will select where this little aeroplane is, and you can see the full itinerary that your clients have booked. If tickets have been issued, you will see the numbers here. Remember, all prices that you are seeing here are net prices. Once these flights have been confirmed by Illusions, remember to add them to Traveltech by selecting Add Manually, and at that point you can use your PNR, passenger name record, to pull these flights through from Illusions into Traveltech. Once in Traveltech, you can add on a markup and charge the client a booking fee. They will not see this fee. All they will know is the total price that you have quoted them.